Okay. Article 3 is another video, and the video's title is A Metabolic Analysis of CrossFit's Elite Part 2. Part 1, they don't tell us to study part 1 because I watched it, and it's just the scientists or the experts introducing themselves to the CrossFit athletes, and they do a workout. It's fun to watch, but it's not 100% necessary. On part 2 is when they use all the data they gathered to explain what they do. So my summary of the video is they start explaining what exercise physiology is. They say it's the study of acute response, but also is the study of chronic adaptation under different exercise conditions. And I know that the chronic as a word sounds like something bad, but it means sustained for over 30 days. So they say a common measure that they use in exercise physiology is the VO2 max that we hear so much lately, or we have heard so much. So VO2 max is the measure of the maximum amount of oxygen your body can utilize during exercise. So what they do to get the VO2 max, which is the amount of oxygen that we use when we are exercising, is that they measure how much oxygen we inhale and then how much CO2 we exhale, meaning how much CO2 is exhaled is going to be equal to the amount of oxygen that we used in that breath or during the workout. Let's see. So they have this whole thing about Julie doing Fran, and then go the results of the experiment. So they showed that Julie's heart rate was 190 beats per minute for 2 minutes. So she sustained, it's like a semi-horizontal or semi-straight line for the 2 minutes when she did Fran. Then they show, according to age and gender, Julie's predicted VO2 max, which was a little below 0.8. And what they measured was that what she actually used, or the oxygen she actually used, or her VO2 max, was a little above 1.0. That's the result of the experiment. So then they talk about people, regular people, when they are at rest, their VO2 max is around 0.6 to 0.8. That means mostly fat is providing energy to the body. And they don't say it, but it means that mostly fat is not 100%, it's around 60%. They say that later. Then when a person goes from that to 1.0 or 1.0 VO2 max, that's going to be 100% or near 100% of energy is being provided by glucose. That means carbohydrates are providing 100% of the energy. So that's what your body is using when, for example, when you're exercising and your VO2 max goes up to 1.0 or a little above. you are going to use 100% of your energy is going to be provided by carbohydrates, and very little fat is used. But the thing that comes after that is the interesting part for me, which is in recovery, there is a switch of energy use. So when you are recovering after a high intensity workout, 80% to 95% of the energy you're using to recover is going to come from fat. So this is what they call a high metabolism, and that's why professional athletes have such low fat percentage or body fat percentage. And then they say most people, we use 60% of fat for energy. So when you are doing, they explain, when you're doing a low intensity workout, what you could get is around 20 minutes of high metabolism. After that, when you're recovering, you get around 20 minutes of high metabolism. That's going to be 20 minutes using 80 to 95% of energy is going to come from fat. But when you are doing a high intensity workout, we usually get around 2 hours of high metabolism. So that's going to be 2 hours of your body using 80 to 95, so 80 or 95% of the energy your body is going to use to recover is going to come from fat. So in the end, the conclusion is that if you repeat this for weeks, months, and years, you are going to start seeing a change in your body. So this whole video, they are explaining scientifically why high intensity workouts work, and which is what CrossFit is about. And yeah, they're showing scientifically why it works and how it works with a live experiment. That's it. That's my conclusion. That's not my conclusion, my summary. Summary of the article number 3, which is a video, and they mostly talk about VO2 max and metabolic analysis. So that's pretty fun. Yeah. Next one is going to be a theoretical template for CrossFit's programming from Greg Glassman in 2003. So I think this is part of the level 1 guide, and that's pretty fun. And that's it. 8 minutes. Real good, real short. See you later.